All right. Today's SPY was up 0.28% as we continue to push into the supply zone, which I'm also calling the danger zone, because if you're buying up here, I do think you're at elevated risk to get caught holding the bag. So very quickly, I'll go through a bullish scenario. And in the bullish scenario, it's possible we push a little bit higher into the 440s, but eventually we will need some kind of pullback. And what we're likely going to get during a bullish scenario pullback would be a higher low. And eventually this will start looking like an inverse head and shoulders, where you have the left shoulder, the low at the end of October would be the head, and then you building out the right shoulder before we start into a bull rally. So even in your bullish scenario, there's a very good chance we need to put in that higher low very soon before we get enough momentum to push higher, break through all of this resistance, and push towards the gap fills in the 450s. So as I've said, this is still a downtrend until we get that higher low, higher high breakout. And that's what's going to tell us the downtrend is officially over, and we now have buyers at higher lows breaking to higher highs and starting an uptrend. So be patient. If you want to get bullish, you're going to get much better risk reward ratios buying during that pullback. No matter when it happens to come, there will be a pullback at some point to put in that higher low that will define this bull trend. If you just look at this has been straight up each and every day with no pullback. So therefore, there's no way we can say we have any higher lows yet. Now in the bearish scenario, we'll likely end up putting some kind of lower high in, which could be anywhere between 440 up to the resistance trend line at 443. And then we'll just continue to free fall lower towards that gap fill down there at 396 and 407. So there is still a bearish scenario, and there always is a bearish scenario, and there's always a bullish scenario. And right now, because we're still in a downtrend until we get that higher low, it's still possible this could be a lower high and we could still go lower. So essentially, both scenarios tell us we really need to start pulling back very soon, which means on SPY, we really only have about 1.3 to 1.5% higher before we hit very critical resistance and start that pullback. And yes, we could start the pullback as soon as tomorrow. It's just a matter of when that pullback happens, not a matter of if. If you're one of those people who think we're just going straight up like this, that's completely fine. You're entitled to your opinion. But I'll be very shocked if that's what ends up playing out without some kind of sizable pullback before we go to those higher prices. So in the short term, we have very critical resistance at this gap fill above 438, 440, and the resistance trend line at 443. And to the downside, we have the critical support zones between 430 and this gap fill at 423. And if we continue lower, we have support at 420 and the gap fill at 418. On the NASDAQ 100 triple Qs, we were up 0.95% today, and the triple Qs did get a bull breakout above 370, which is also a break above the downtrending resistance trend line. Now, just like SPY, there's a very good chance eventually we will need to get this higher low pullback before we continue any higher. And the next likely resistance zone in the triple Qs will be up here between 377 and 378. So it is possible we do push a little bit higher before we start the pullback, but even in the bullish scenario, we are going to need that higher low to say that we're out of the downtrend. And then in the bearish scenario, we'll obviously just continue lower, and this will be the lower high from the previous high in July at 386. So 386 to 378 is still a lower high, and it's still possible that could be a bear trend. So even if you want to get bullish, you still need to manage your risk around this breakout at 370. Above 370, we can still push higher, but eventually we're going to need that higher low into the higher high to confirm an uptrend. And that is where you're going to get a much better risk reward ratio if you're looking for a long trade. So in the triple Qs, watch the breakout at 370. And if we can't hold 370 on a retest, we're likely coming back down towards 365, the gap fill above 363, and then the gap fill at 357. In the Dow Jones, we were up 0.15% today, and we're starting to break above 341, which means we're likely going to the resistance trend line at 343 and or the gap fill above 344. From there, we'll likely get a higher low pullback towards the gap fill at 338 and then another gap fill down here at 333. On the Russell 2000 IWM ETF, we were down 0.35% today, so we're not getting the confirmation from the small caps that we're breaking out of the downtrend with this sharp rejection from a negatively sloping 50 EMA and a gap to fill at 170 and a gap to fill above 165. To get bullish on the small caps, we'll need this to turn into a higher low breakout above 176 and then start breaking above that gap fill and 200 daily moving average in the 180s. On the ARKK ETF, we were up 2.87% today, and we're just now starting to break back above the 200 daily moving average, which is a critical resistance zone between 40.5 and 41.3. If ARKK can get a higher low into a higher high breakout and start closing back over the 200 daily moving average, we could be breaking out of the bear market, but we still have gaps to fill to the downside right around 38, 38.35 and just below 32, so it's still possible this will be a lower high rejection into a lower low that could take us to much lower prices. On the VIX, we were down 0.67% today as the VIX is now closing down below 15 for the third day in a row, and I've told you many times the VIX below 20 is going to tell us we're likely getting the bull market scenario. So the only way we can really start favoring the bear market scenario is if we see the VIX start spiking out back above 18 and then back above 20. On Bitcoin, we're currently up 0.83%, and Bitcoin is trying to break out above this resistance right around 35,000 and the previous high. But as you can tell, this is looking a lot choppier, the price action, so the bull trend is starting to weaken as the rising 20 daily moving average catches up. But as long as we have this bull trend, you're staying bullish above the breakout at 32,000 or above the rising 20 daily moving average, which is currently just below 34,000. On Tesla stock, we were up 1.33% today as we closed right on top of the rising 200 daily moving average of support at 220, but we're still below a negatively sloping 20 daily moving average at 224. Some critical resistance to pay attention to will be 230, and then above that we can go fill the gap at 242. And critical downside support is 214 because if we break below that, we're looking for a gap fill right around 206. On Apple stock, we were up 1.45% today, and we're sitting right on top of the resistance at 182, and we're trying to break out from this pullback to fill the gap at 167. And the longer we can hold above 177, the more likely we can push higher towards the gap fill below 191. But now that we're getting the breakout, I think there's a good chance we need to get some kind of pullback into a higher low, test that breakout as support, and then we can probably continue to push higher towards that gap fill. This is what you're seeing across the board of this higher low is needed to confirm the bull trend now that we're starting to get the breakout. If we continue higher without a pullback and we break 182, look for the next resistance levels at 185 and just above 189. So jumping back over to the S&P 500, without a doubt, these are very critical resistance zones and we still have no higher low pullback. So we still can't say that we've definitely broken out of the downtrends, even though price action is looking more and more bullish the farther we continue to push and the more critical resistance levels we continue to break. However, no matter how high we push, we are still going to need that higher low pullback at some point to confirm a bull trend. So be patient and be disciplined and do your best not to get FOMO and chase this rally, because if you start chasing the rally here, it's going to be very difficult to manage risk because we're so close to resistance. If you're bearish and you want to start shorting, these are the levels to start initiating low risk short trades. That way, even if you're wrong and you lose, you're not going to lose a lot because this is the low risk entry. If you want to come crush this market, consider joining the Stock Channel Discord server or Bank Trade Alerts, and you can find out how to join either of those services by clicking on the links below. So thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you're crushing this market. And as always, I will see you in the next episode.